Now, before I start this review, I just wanted to say I will not be spoiling anything about the movie, but I will be hinting at the specific character motivations and the mood of the film in this review. But I'm telling you now, by the time you sit down in a theater and watch this movie, you are not going to remember anything I say. You are going to be so engrossed and focused on what is going on in the movie that this review is not even going to be a thought. But if you want to get an idea of if this film is worth it, then watch this review. 10 Cloverfield Lane is a psychological thriller and a psychological experiment produced surreptitiously by JJ Abrams, the man responsible for the two greatest marketing campaigns of the 21st century.
No! Don't open that door!
Chewie, we're home.
The blood relative to the 2008 indie disaster film Cloverfield, 10 Cloverfield Lane was announced only months before it was released. The production and the movie itself is one of the biggest secrets until you finally open the box and step into the introverted, claustrophobic nightmare of suspense and suspicion. The movie opens with a bright, sunny smile of deceit before swerving you off the road of predictability and entrapping the film's protagonist in a state-of-the-art doomsday bunker. Her life is saved by an offbeat conspiracy theorist named Howard, who saved her life after a brutal car accident leaves her seriously injured for the remainder of the film. The movie only has three characters: Howard, Michelle, and Emmett, three survivors of an undisclosed catastrophic doomsday event. The characters of Michelle and Emmett are two opposites who share the same imperfection, running away from their problems, but this time they jump ship into an extremely unpleasant tsunami of doubt and survival. They run straight into the arms of an overweight, heavy-breathing, socially awkward conspiracy theorist who has been preparing for the impending doomsday his entire life. Howard is the guy that you would want on your zombie apocalypse response team. The characters must learn to deal with the impending doom outside of the bunker, but they also must face the true enemy of the film, the individual mind. The mind can be a very dangerous place, especially when you're trapped in a fucking bunker with two other strangers that you've never even met. You know? Like, if you had to pick two people to be trapped in a bunker with, who would you pick? I would probably go Ava Braun, because I know if things got dark, we can both kill each other without knowing that the other one survived. And, Halle Berry, because, she's probably a good conversation. Now, the original Cloverfield was a monster film. It's about an alien monster who attacks the city of New York, and the characters must navigate throughout the city trying to avoid the giant Godzilla as kaiju. Is that what they're called in Pacific Rim, the kaiju? While the entire movie is filmed from a camcorder. It's a found footage film. 10 Cloverfield Lane, like JJ Abrams said, it's not a direct sequel. It is not following the events. Some people might think it might be a prequel to the events of the original Cloverfield, but this movie is a lot smaller in the way it is shot, but it's dealing with much bigger themes. It's dealing with the theme of survival, the themes of regret, feminism, the mental repercussions of a patriarchal society on a mentally ill man. These are the different themes that they are attacking in this movie, rather than just going for the big old disaster film, mayhem, mess, blood, and action. This movie is shot on a much smaller scale, but this is the quintessential less is more. These characters are inside this bunker because they are trying to avoid the disaster that is outside. They know that this catastrophic event has happened, so they are all trapped in this bunker, but the biggest enemy is the individual mind. And I cannot stress enough how much this movie focuses on the individual mind. The main character says nothing for about the first 5 to 10 minutes, but you can see all the thoughts and the raw emotion going on just through the silence of the film. Can you learn to live with regret? Can you learn to face your fears, to embrace your talent so you can move forward in life without having the cloud of regret over your shoulder constantly? These are the problems that I don't want to give anything away, because there is so much going on in this movie. It is such an unpredictable film, but the directing is fantastic. What they are able to do with this just small scale set, it takes place in one farm, one bunker with about 3 different rooms. It is beautifully shot. The director does a fantastic job of really putting you inside of this world, giving you that feeling of claustrophobic, but allowing your mind to become so open to the different possibilities that this movie can take you on. It is truly just one of the most unpredictable movies I have ever seen. The first 90 minutes of the movie are excellent. A third of the way through the film, I thought to myself, wow, I haven't noticed one fault within this film or anything that I would have done differently. The suspense is appropriately nauseating. The most intense moments either result in a well-timed jump scare or a big sigh of relief. The acting is incredible. John Goodman gives an Oscar-worthy performance as the conspiracy theorist Howard, and Mary Elizabeth Winstead channels her inner Scrappy-Doo and gives her character grit, toughness, and a determination to survive. The dynamic between Goodman and Winstead keeps you guessing throughout the entire film. This is really the psychological interactions between these two characters. This is the underlining theme of the entire movie. You would need the deduction powers of Sherlock Holmes to accurately predict where the movie is headed from scene to scene. It's incredibly unpredictable, ultimately to its demise. The third act it's not lazy, but it's comparable to an athlete who fumbles the ball before the buzzer sounds. The writers panicked. Instead of tying the movie together with a satisfying finale, the writers decide to hit the panic alarm. For some, the ending can be beyond forgiveness, but personally, I won't hold the first 90 minutes accountable for the mediocre ending. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, but the start was so good that the finish won't diminish my opinion of this film. So overall, I would give this movie a 7 out of 10. It's a good film that could have been great, possibly even a masterpiece, if it had a satisfying ending. But it is by no means a bad movie. It's exciting, it's suspenseful, it's unpredictable to a fault, and a great 2 hours spent in a movie theater. I highly recommend you see this movie stoned off your ass.